What is going on, everybody, and welcome to the show. I'm your host, Big T, right here with all of you guys today, and this is your WWE Monday Night Raw review and results show for today, Monday, October 23rd, 2023. Damian Priest injures Cody Rhodes as Raw struggles to get out of first gear. Yeah, Raw sucked tonight. Nothing good about the show, but we'll talk about it. So kick back, relax, we'll get everything settled in and talk about Monday Night Raw. So hit the introductions, get this party started. Your WWE Monday Night Raw review and results show will be coming up next. Don't go away because I will be right back.
This is M-Dog20, Matt Cross. We're in Cleveland, Ohio, and you are checking out Beyond the Ring with my man, Big T. Thank you, man. Big T.
Hello, this is EC3 of TNA Wrestling, and you are so very fortunate because you are watching Beyond the Ring with Big T.
This is the bad boy Joey Janela, and you're watching Beyond the Ring, Big T.
How's it going, everybody? Alright, we are back. Ready to rock and roll here, so let's get this party started. How's everybody doing tonight? Welcome to the show. I'm your host, Big T, right here with all of you guys right here today. And this is your WWE Monday Night Raw review results show for today, Monday, October 23rd, 2023. And boy, oh boy, what a miserable show this was. It was absolutely horrible. Nothing redeemable about it, enjoyable, nothing. WWE did awful. But, yeah, guys, make sure, real quickly here before we get into everything, and I take a drink of water. Don't forget to check out my website, BeyondTheRingWithBigT.com. Follow me on Twitter, BeyondTheRingBT. Like me and follow me on Facebook at BeyondTheRingWithBigT. Follow me on Instagram at BeyondTheRingWithBigT. You guys can call into the show live on Skype using BigT_119. All that good stuff. Use the hashtag Justice for Pretty. Donate to the show using PayPal. There's a PayPal link at the very top of the description of this video and every single video that I do. And there's a PayPal button on my YouTube homepage as well. And the comment with the PayPal link is pinned to the top of the YouTube live chat, Facebook live comments, all that good stuff. And, make sure that you donate to the show. Any amount, big or small, would be very much appreciated and really helps keep the show going. So donate right now. And let's see. We'll start it off here with WWE Monday Night Raw for Monday, October 23rd, 2023. 3 things Wrestling Inc. hated and 3 things Wrestling Inc. loved about Monday Night Raw. I can't even pick if I really loved one thing on the show, let alone 3. So let's see what Wrestling Inc. is coming up with. And Darth and Hunter, what's up, guys? Glad to see you. Hope that you're enjoying yourselves. And let's get into this and see what we have right here tonight. And Omar, what's going on, Omar? So we got some people in tonight. We got some people having fun here. And, that's cool. Too bad, we're not here to talk about better overall circumstances because this show was just, really, it was bad. It was bad, guys. I don't know if any of you liked it. If you did, more power to you. Because this was really pretty bad tonight. And I think WWE, in all honesty, should be ashamed of themselves for putting out something like this. That's just me. I think they could have did a lot better. That's my honest opinion. Okay, now let's take a look. Get into this. Alright. I don't blame Omar at all. Or wait, no, I don't blame Hunter at all for not watching Raw. My God, I wouldn't watch it. So, hey, I don't blame him one bit. Not one bit. But let's see. My chat window closed on me. So hold on here, I'm just kind of getting everything back. There we go. Alright, thank you, Darth. Alright, so now we're ready. I just have to get back into my Facebook Live page because that screwed up on me. A little bit of technical issues, but we got it. Alright. So now let's take a look. First thing that Wrestling Inc. hated about WWE Monday Night Raw tonight, it says somebody, please give Cody a different story. Miles Schneiderman, Wrestling Inc. Senior Lead News Editor, wrote this. It says, we have really been impressed with the last few episodes of WWE Monday Night Raw to the extent that it's getting a little difficult to find stuff to hate, so thanks, Cody Rhodes, we guess. Cody's opening segment confrontation with the Judgment Day started off promising. We really enjoyed the "that's how it feels to get interrupted" line, but it was the way it ended that made us roll our eyes. Specifically, Cody once again getting a kayfabe injury prior to his big pay-per-view singles match against Damian Priest at Crown Jewel, which would be an entirely accurate description of what happened last time WWE went to Saudi Arabia. If you replace Damian Priest with Brock Lesnar and Crown Jewel with Night of Champions, we don't know. WWE just figures the Saudis love them in injury and, love them in injury and, they're repeating everything with Saudi Arabia and all that stuff. Okay, let's see. Now, when we look at that same injury angle, which is honestly a stupid injury angle, it says, let's see, Crown Jewel. Let's see, we don't know if WWE just figures the Saudi loves them and injured Cody from underneath story or what. But speaking as a non-Saudi, it says we're a little sick of it. The Brock Lesnar storyline was the absolute epitome of that narrative to Cody's long-term detriment. We watched this guy refuse to go down to Brock Lesnar with a broken arm at Night of Champions and again at SummerSlam. We're supposed to believe that a busted ankle is going to stop him from beating Damian Priest. It says, Cody, my dude, we're begging you to learn a second song here. Nobody needs this story again, and it doesn't make anybody look good. Least of all of you. The only thing this really doesn't make it seem like you have a little bird, bones, and or that your gimmick is injured, which we don't think is the image you're going for. First thing that Wrestling Inc. loved about WWE Monday Night Raw tonight, it says, finally a good contract signing. Olivia Quinlan, Wrestling Inc. news writer, wrote this. I did not enjoy this contract signing at all, by the way. It says, professional wrestling and contract signings, a tale as old as time. We all know how contract signings go. Wrestlers sit down at a desk and exchange jabs with one another as a third party mediates things, and someone winds up going through the table. Oh, and of course, they sign the contract at some point. Everyone begins to feel the same as the others, and they all start to blend together. But Monday's contract signing for the Fatal 5-Way Women's World Championship match at Crown Jewel managed to stand out far above the rest. Adam Pearce looked to take a different approach to things, having no desk in the ring to be broken, and having the challengers Shayna Baszler, Zoe Stark, Raquel Rodriguez, and Nia Jax on the contract, before having Rhea Ripley follow suit backstage at a later time. Although things did not quite work out the way that he hoped for, as the format was different than anything else that we have ever seen in the best possible way, and it just made total sense. In fact, we'd even go as far as saying that it worked in Adam Pearce's favor is it made him look strong as an on-screen authority figure. All 5 women involved in the segment came off looking great as well, but the one who stands out from the rest is Nia Jax. Nia Jax said Rhea Ripley was using her as a means of squashing everyone else for her own benefit. She then went around the ring and singled out her opponents, which naturally led to a massive brawl. Nia Jax has been floundering when it comes to her promo skills as of late, but tonight she easily gave her best performance since making her return to WWE, if not her entire career. It says take notes because this is how you do a proper contract signing. I totally disagree, honestly. That was the first thing Wrestling Inc. loved about Raw, and let me tell you something, if they love that about Raw, holy shit. The second thing Wrestling Inc. hated about WWE Monday Night Raw tonight. Confusion for Natalya and... It says for Natalya and Nikki. John Jordan, Wrestling Inc. news writer, wrote this. So let's see what they gotta say here. Let's see. It's a good problem to have for us to force ourselves to hate something during these Raw reviews, but our least favorite element of Monday night's show involved Natalya and Nikki Cross as a hodgepodge tag team facing women's tag team champions Chelsea Green and Piper Niven. Mostly this annoys us because it involved Natty's character once again playing the I'm confused, I've got to figure a few things out card that they have had her play several times over the years. Worse than that, it ended up involving the heavily underused Nikki Cross, which great for the involvement at all as Natty's tag team partner, only for Nikki Cross, not doing her traditional sprint to the ring, bite the ropes bit, but instead is waltzing ever so slowly to the ring in a catatonic state, staring into space for 3/4 of the match, then walking off, never tagging in or getting into the mix in any way. Earlier in the evening, Natty wished Indy Hartwell well in her challenge for Becky Lynch's NXT Women's Championship, but when asked by Candice LeRae whether she was looking for a replacement partner for an injured Tegan Knox or what she was up to otherwise, she went with that I'm confused thing, and our eyes rolled. Why is Natalya, of all female competitors at WWE, confused about anything? She should be as confident as anyone, resolute in knowing what her next move is at any time, and maybe she is really, maybe this will, play itself out, and the Nikki Cross craziness will make sense in the coming weeks. For now, though, all it did was lead us to another loss for someone in Natalya, who should be a stalwart of the division, if only she could ever, not be confused at all. As for Nikki Cross, again, I'm glad she is part of something here, and we can only hope it clicks. Sleepwalking to and through a match ain't it, though. Second thing Wrestling Inc. loved about WWE Monday Night Raw tonight is Sami Zayn versus Drew McIntyre. Miles Schneiderman wrote this one. It says there was some pretty damn good wrestling on this episode. Shout out to Alpha Academy vs. New Day, which ruled. But for our money, unsurprisingly, our match of the night was Sami Zayn vs. Drew McIntyre. We just continue to love the hell out of the storyline. Naturally, it could have been used a little more Sami throughout Raw, but Drew was all over the place, taunting Jey Uso over losing a championship due to bloodline interference, verbally sparring with Seth Rollins backstage, and putting on a really, really solid match with Sami Zayn that had the Dallas crowd, which was pretty hot throughout the show, at their absolute loudest by the end of it. We like that Sami got a little protection in defeat from Rhea Ripley interference, since it definitely looked like he could have beaten Drew while also giving Drew a big win prior to his Crown Jewel title match with Seth Rollins. And we really like this stuff Rhea is doing with Seth and Drew, courting both of them as potential Judgment Day members and playing them against each other for the ultimate benefit, probably of Damian Priest. Rhea Ripley is really coming into her own right now as a master manipulator type, and like most of her outfits, she wears it well. We don't know. These just all feel like very real characters to us, from Rhea Ripley to Seth Rollins to Drew McIntyre to Sami Zayn to Jey Uso, and we really like that they're all interconnected and have increasingly complicated relationships based on their mutual histories. That's the kind of thing that really makes wrestling compelling to us, and WWE is knocking it out of the park with this one right now. And the second thing that Wrestling Inc. really hated here, the third thing, that Wrestling Inc. really hated here, that we're going to find out about is, do we really need Logan Paul versus Ricochet Part 2? Olivia Quinlan wrote this. It says, do we really need to see a renewal of the feud between Logan Paul and Ricochet from WWE SummerSlam? Rey Mysterio wasn't the only member of the Mysterio family that Logan Paul has come face-to-face with, as tonight he encountered Dominic Mysterio in the ring. Only this time, the interaction went much smoother. The pair began bonding, which was all fine and dandy. That wasn't until Logan Paul decided to call ring announcer Samantha Irvin into the ring and demand that she prematurely announce him as the new United States champion, so naturally Ricochet, Samantha Irvin's real-life fiancé, attacked Logan Paul and Dominic Mysterio to fend them off. Since we were not the biggest fans of Logan's Paul and Ricochet's program throughout the summer, but having it be renewed, even if it is just for a Raw match, seems unnecessary to us and a little out of the blue. Given that Crown Jewel is quickly approaching on November 4th, we think that it would be more beneficial to solely focus on Rey Mysterio and Logan Paul's current storyline rather than renewing an old rivalry, especially given that the only build thus far is Logan Paul calling out Rey Mysterio in a verbal confrontation, with the brand split seemingly actually in effect these days, and Rey Mysterio being exclusive to SmackDown. We understand that they did not have another face-to-face on Monday night, but even so, having Logan Paul and Dominic Mysterio do a segment with two of them would have been a better and more effective use of time. And the third thing that Wrestling Inc. loved about WWE Monday Night Raw this week was Akira Tozawa, perseverance personified. John Jordan wrote this. It says, "It has been said time and time again in the pro wrestling world that one of the keys to success for any talent is maximizing your minutes. Good old JR Jim Ross, for one, has been consistent in delivering this message on his podcast and elsewhere for years now. Essentially, the idea is that no matter the amount of screen time or opportunity you get, be it a minute or an hour on TV or in front of a house of 50 or 50,000, you've got to make the most of it. And we would argue that nobody has done a better job of making the most out of what he has been given throughout his WWE tenure than Akira Tozawa. From his debut in the Cruiserweight Classic in 2016 to 205 Live to the wild and wacky world of the 24/7 Championship to blink and you'd miss it backstage flybys, he's absolutely embraced every opportunity that's come his way. Be it a card game skit with Baron Corbin or one of his many quick-hit backstage bits, Tozawa can draw a giggle with just a look, as he did simply walking by as a more prominent angle played out, or looking terrified as someone like Nia Jax crossed his path. All of this led to his involvement with Alpha Academy last week, training with the group in a workout session led by Maxine Dupree, dancing awkwardly and doing what he does best, entertaining the audience. And now as a junior cadet of Alpha Academy, he is getting rewarded with consistent TV time amid one of the company's up-and-coming factions, and also a very, very oversized group t-shirt. Tozawa joined the Academy ringside for their tag team match against the New Day, and despite their loss, Tozawa drew inspiration later, interrupting a backstage segment between Bronson Reed and Giovanni Vinci and Ludwig Kaiser and challenging Bronson Reed to a match later in the evening. Bronson Reed showed mercy at first, but after Tozawa insisted and gave him a chop, Orange Cassidy would be proud of, he accepted, saying, "It is your funeral." It says, of course, Tozawa got destroyed, but that's not the point. Later, Gable told him he's still a champion to them, and then had him do his training where he danced to the Dallas Cowboys themed WWE belt for a good giggle, and good for Tozawa, who will hopefully keep getting opportunities, but will definitely keep making the most of them. So there you go. I don't agree. 3 things wrestling ain't hated and 3 things wrestling ain't loved. I don't agree with what they had to say, because really even the stuff that, they say that they really enjoyed was not that good. There was a lot of stuff on this show that was a complete miss. And I would think, come on. People should know. People should know just by checking out the show, What's up, JQ James, how you doing? Everybody, hope you're doing well tonight as we continue moving on in this review. And now actually we're going to get on to the review itself and kind of breeze through this here, because there was nothing, important or of note on this show. So I'm just coming to give you a review, basically to tell you how this show sucks. Because that's basically what happened with this show is, this show was not good. This show was, quote-unquote, terrible tonight. And they needed to do a lot better than what they did, and they didn't put their best foot forward, I'll tell you that. But anyway, there we go. WWE Monday Night Raw review and results show here for today, Monday, October 23rd, 2023. We got an NXT Women's title match, Sami Zayn versus Drew McIntyre, and more. So, for WWE Monday Night Raw here on Monday, October 23rd, 2023, came to us live from the American Airlines Center in Dallas, Texas. Before she defends the NXT Women's Championship tomorrow night against Lyra Valkyria and night 1 of NXT Halloween Havoc, Becky Lynch will be putting her NXT Women's title on the line against Indy Hartwell. Becky has had a string of successful title defenses as late, retaining over the likes of Tiffany Stratton, Tegan Nox, and Natalya, all while new challengers continue emerging. Sami Zayn and Drew McIntyre are quite familiar with one another in the squared circle, and tonight they will collide once more as the pair found themselves involved in a heated backstage confrontation last week, and Sami Zayn accepted Drew McIntyre's challenge in order to showcase his abilities. One half of the newly crowned undisputed WWE Tag Team Champions, Damian Priest, will be in singles competition tonight as he takes on Jey Uso. As his night won't end just there, however, as he and his Judgment Day teammates have something on their minds to share after he and Finn Balor won back the undisputed WWE Tag Team Championships from Jey Uso and Cody Rhodes last week. Logan Paul made his long-awaited WWE return this past Friday on WWE Friday Night SmackDown, finding himself involved in a verbal exchange with Rey Mysterio, which ultimately ended with the pair agreeing to a United States Championship match at WWE Crown Jewel on November 4th. In light of that, Logan Paul will be appearing on tonight's show with something to say. Additionally, Alpha Academy's Chad Gable and Otis will be going head-to-head with Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston of the New Day. Per WWE's events page, the aforementioned Cody Rhodes, WWE World Heavyweight Champion Seth freaking Rollins, and Shinsuke Nakamura are also slated to be in town tonight. It says, we are live as the show kicks off with a video package recapping of last week's Undisputed Tag Team Championship match. Michael Cole and Wade Barrett greet audiences at home as Finn Balor and Damian Priest make their way to the ring. Cody Rhodes confronts the Judgment Day. Balor welcomes fans to Raw and then says he's feeling good tonight, and he asks Damian Priest if he could tell fans to rise for the Judgment Day. Priest tells him to go ahead. Priest then says Rhea Ripley and Dominic Mysterio are dealing with Judgment Day business backstage and brags about himself and his teammates being back on top. Cody Rhodes beats the kids. He makes his way down to the ring and he asks the Judgment Day how it feels to be interrupted and says he has some choice words for the leader of the Judgment Day. But Rhea Ripley is nowhere to be found at ringside. Cody says Rhea isn't just Dominic's mommy, but Balor and Priest's mommy too, as Cody says that Rhea is calling all the shots and cutting all the deals, and Cody then tells Priest that low-blowing him last week will be far from the final shot. Priest points out that Cody forgot to mention going through the announce desk and says if Cody didn't come out to find him, then he would have done such. Priest then asks Cody what his story actually is and says it has to be that he failed. Cody tells Priest to put that theory to the test, and Priest opts to decline his offers. He opts to challenge Cody to a one-on-one match at WWE Crown Jewel. Cody accepts and then says that they are standing there. They may as well give everyone a preview since they are standing there. Priest says he likes that idea as Rhea and Dominic show up at ringside and march down to the ring. Jey Uso jumps on Dominic on the ramp as Cody goes after Priest and looks to send him crashing through the table. Before he can, JD McDonough executes a chop and Priest sends him crashing back into the steel ring steps. McDonough pulls several chairs out from under the ring as Priest fires off stomps on Cody. As a chair is placed over Cody's ankle and Priest grabs the second chair as he then hits Cody's ankle with it. As Adam Pearce and several WWE officials run down to check on Cody Rhodes. Cody's hurt. And it's like, oh great, another, kayfabe injury, not a real injury, another kayfabe injury for Cody. And then we go to commercial. We come back from the commercial break. We see Adam Pearce and Jey Uso help Cody Rhodes to the trainer's room. We go back at ringside. The New Day heads down to the ring at his Alpha Academy, and the newest member, Akira Tozawa, already waiting inside the ring. So to kick that off with Cody getting injured and the whole Judgment Day shtick, I don't know, I'm just over it. I didn't really think anything great of it. I didn't like it. So let's see. Alpha Academy, Otis Chad Gable with Maxine Dupree and Akira Tozawa in their corners going up against the New Day of Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston. Woods and Gable begin the action. The bell rings. Both men lock up. They go back and forth locking in submission holds on one another before Gable lands a suplex as Woods fires back with the lariat and then tags in Kofi. Kofi delivers a splash using the ropes and then delivers a standing one as Gable cinches in an ankle lock, but Kofi quickly escapes and the action spills to the outside. Go to commercial, come back from the commercial break. Otis delivers a Vader bomb to Kofi. Gable and Woods tag in, and Woods delivers the lariat to Gable as he follows it up with a kick and a forearm and then looks for a splash in the corners. Gable evades it, but Woods manages to deliver a side Russian leg sweep and a senton as Gable rolls him up, but Woods kicks out and gets up on Gable's shoulders. As he then plants him before Gable executes 3 German suplexes and goes for a pin as Woods kicks out and Otis tags in. Otis gets Woods in an electric chair position and Gable delivers a bulldog off the top rope. Otis goes for a pin. Kofi breaks up the fall. Otis then lands a splash on him in the corner and follows it up with a caterpillar, but Woods manages to send him crashing into the ring post shoulder first. Gable makes the blind tag and Woods looks to hit a reverse caterpillar on Otis before he can. Gable hops in the ring and cinches in an ankle lock as Woods counters into a pinfall, but Gable kicks out. Woods sends him crashing to the outside and delivers a pair of kicks to an interfering Otis as Kofi tags in and double teams on Otis with Woods. Woods then becomes legal again and delivers an elbow drop off the top rope for the 1-2-3 and the pin and the win. Your winners are Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston of the New Day. Match was whatever. It was nothing spectacular, to be honest. It was just a tag match. Go to commercial, come back from the commercial break. We head over to a video from Ivar and Valhalla, as well as another one recapping what happened between Seth freaking Rollins and Drew McIntyre last week. We then head backstage. We see Seth freaking Rollins run into Rhea Ripley. Seth tells Rhea that she's in the wrong place if she's looking for Drew, and Rhea says the Judgment Day is nothing but respect for Seth. As Rhea says that the Judgment Day is concerned about the pace Seth is running at and says he needs them. Seth says that Rhea has lost faith in Damian Priest cashing in his Money in the Bank contract on him for the World Heavyweight Championship, and then asks what he would want with her. Rhea tells him that he needs her because he's just a world champion right now rather than the world champion. Rhea offers Seth the Judgment Day's help once again before bringing up Roman Reigns and his historic reign as the undisputed WWE Universal Champion. Seth says he wants to be nothing like Roman, and Rhea tells him that wasn't a no. So that's a little bit interesting, but then we head over and see a conversation between Natalya, Indy Hartwell, and Candice LeRae. Natalya offers Hartwell her support and wishes her the best in her NXT Women's Championship matchup next. Back at ringside, Becky Lynch heads down to the ring. Indy Hartwell follows as we see Lyra Valkyria watching on from the crowd. So we got a match for the WWE NXT Women's Championship. We got the WWE NXT Women's Champion Becky Lynch defending her NXT Women's Championship against Indy Hartwell. And this again was another match that was just nothing spectacular. The bell rings. Becky looks for the manhandle slam. Indy fights back with a clothesline before Becky rolls out of the ring. She gets back inside and executes backslide, but Indy kicks out as Candice watches the action from backstage. Indy gets Becky up on her shoulders and sends her into the top turnbuckle face first as she hits a sidewalk slam and sends her crashing into the barricade on the outside. Go to commercial, come back from the commercial break. Becky dumps Indy onto the apron as Indy then lands an uppercut and a big boot and then ascends to the top and hits an elbow drop to Becky's spine. Becky then sends Indy crashing into the mat and sets for the manhandle slam as Indy avoids the maneuver and lands another big boot and then ascends to the top as Becky pulls her down and locks in an armbar. But Indy manages to land a powerbomb on her and follows it up with the spine busters. Becky then locks in to disarm her and Indy Hartwell taps out. Your winner and still the WWE NXT Women's Champion is Becky Lynch. After the match, Becky and Indy, they shake hands and show respect for one another. Becky then stares down Valkyria on her way to the back, and that was it. Backstage, we see Xia Li attack Candice LeRae and tell her that it was a message for Indy, too. I'm like, oh god. I'm not excited for a Xia Li Candice LeRae if you give me a freaking break. We then head over to Adam Pearce talking to security about the upcoming Crown Jewel Women's World Championship match contract signing as Nick Aldis approaches Adam Pearce and apologizes for having him removed from the arena this past Friday night on SmackDown, explaining that he's just trying to establish his authority. Pearce says he knows what it's like to be the new guy, and while he thought it was a bit out of line, it is water under the bridge as Adam Pearce invites Nick Aldis to stay and see how things are done on Raw, and Aldis accepts. Go to commercial, come back from the commercial break. Adam Pearce is waiting inside the ring as security guards surround him on the outside. So we got Rhea Ripley, Shayna Baszler, Zoe Stark, Raquel Rodriguez, and Nia Jax on the contract for the Crown Jewel Women's World Championship Fatal 5-Way match. Adam Pearce kicks things off by saying that he would not ordinarily let a Fatal 5-Way Women's World Championship match go on with all the chaos that has gone down lately. But in WWE, things are settled in the ring. He then introduces Shayna Baszler, Zoe Stark, Raquel Rodriguez, and Nia Jax, who all signed the contract one by one, as they get in the ring with the expectation, or the exception of Nia Jax, as she asks where Rhea Ripley is, and Pearce tells Nia that she will be signing the contract later. Nia then signs the contract, but before Pearce can wrap things up, Rhea Ripley's music hits. She makes her way down to the ring. Rhea says she's not sorry for coming out prematurely, and says that she has something to get off of her chest. She tells Pierce that while she can beat every woman in the ring individually, he set her up, and now she's going to make his life a living hell. She says by making the Fatal 5-Way, all he's doing is making sure that there are 4 less women in the division, and is adamant that she will retain her title. Nia Jax grabs the mic from Pierce's hand and says she sees what Rhea Ripley is doing. She says Rhea wants to squash everyone else for her, and iterates her point to everyone in the ring. So as this is going on, this is also leads to this next part of the contract signing. And Raquel Rodriguez has had enough. She goes after Nia Jax. Everyone except Rhea Ripley then begins brawling with one another as security pulls them apart. However, all 4 women escape and continue to brawl with one another. Zoe Stark and Shayna Baszler are sent crashing to the outside, leaving Nia Jax alone with Raquel Rodriguez as Rhea Ripley yells at them to fight. And they begin brawling before security guards separate them. Both women escapes, and Nia Jax plants Raquel Rodriguez with a Samoan drop. That was that. Wasn't really that enthused with this contract signing. I don't know what you guys thought, but I could care less. We then head backstage and see Akira Tozawa challenge Bronson Reed that match. I don't care about that. Back at ringside, Johnny Gargano heads down to the ring, and then Imperium follows, meaning Ludwig Kaiser and Giovanni Vinci, but excited to see Johnny Gargano, but could care less about the match, to be honest. Johnny Gargano going one-on-one with Giovanni Vinci, with Ludwig Kaiser in his corner. The bell rings and Gargano charges at Vinci. Vinci shoves Gargano into the corner and fires off shoulders on his midsection before landing a backbreaker. Gargano looks to run the ropes but stops when he spots Kaiser, allowing Vinci to clock him from behind as Gargano responds with a super kick as a frustrated Kaiser hops up on the apron. Tommaso Ciampa appears and scares Kaiser away from ringside, opening the door for Gargano to hit a DDT from the ring apron. The one final beat for the 1-2-3 in the pin and the win. Your winner is Johnny Gargano. Match was what it was. Love Johnny Gargano, but it wasn't a good match. Logan Paul then makes his way down to the ring. We hear from Logan Paul. Logan Paul brags about defeating Dylan Davis and causing him to lose his job, and then says he is technically still a free agent and tells fans at home to run to their keyboards because he will give the world something to talk about when he defeats Rey Mysterio Crown Jewel to become the new United States Champion. Dominic Mysterio's music hits. He makes his way down to the ring and tells Logan Paul that from champion to future champion, he can't wait to see him beat his father. Logan Paul says that Rey left out what they have been and what they have had to overcome during their confrontation on Friday night, and says the only person who needs humbling is Rey. Dominic says after Crown Jewel, he will be the champion, and Logan Paul says he can see it vividly, as he says now that he's back on Raw, his favorite ring announcer, Samantha Irvin, is here, and he asked her to join him and Dominic in the ring, as he says it's been a while since he has seen her, and owes her a heartfelt thank you, as she says she deserves to be recognized. And Samantha Irvin reluctantly gets inside the ring, as Logan Paul tells Samantha Irvin that he made it hard when, she was forced to announce him as the winner of his match with Ricochet, which is Samantha's fiance, at WWE SummerSlam, and then asks her to give a preview for what she'll be saying after his and Rey's Crown Jewel United States Championship match to say he's the new United States Champion. Out of nowhere, Ricochet appears and attacks Logan Paul. Dominic Mysterio tries helping Logan Paul out, but Ricochet clocks him as he delivers a knee to his head, and then sends the top looking for a shooting star press. Logan Paul pulls Dominic Mysterio out of the ring before he can hit it. And that was that. There was nothing special about this segment either. It was what it was. But anyway, do I have to talk about this? Chelsea Green and Piper Niven make their way down to the ring. Natalya and her mystery partner Nikki Cross follow. Chelsea Green and Piper Niven against Natalya and Nikki Cross in a non-title women's tag team match. This sucked. Natalya and Chelsea Green begin the action. The bell rings. The two take turns pinning one another. As Nikki Cross stands on the ring apron in a trance, Chelsea Green delivers a boot to Natalya's face and then tags in Piper Niven. Niven delivers a splash to Natalya in the corner. and then tags Chelsea Green back in. Chelsea Green delivers a forearm to her spine as Nikki Cross hops off the apron and heads to the back. Natalya questions what Nikki Cross is doing and then delivers a German suplex to Chelsea Green before executing a discus lariat and going for a pin. Chelsea Green kicks out and sets up for the unprettier as Natalya escapes and looks to lock in a sharpshooter. But unbeknownst to her, Piper Niven is not legal. Natalya locks in a sharpshooter on Piper Niven once she realizes she's legal, but Chelsea Green helps her tag team partner out and lands the unprettier as Piper Niven follows it up with a low crossbody for the 1-2-3 and the pin in the win. Your winners are Chelsea Green and Piper Niven. That was a fucking terrible, a god-awful, terrible match. I have no idea who in their right mind would enjoy that match. That match was garbage. That match was straight garbage. Chelsea Green is garbage. Everything about her is garbage. I mean, for real. The women's tag team division is in fucking shambles. It's the worst bullshit you're ever gonna see. You know, just telling you guys honestly. Let's see. Nia Jax, yeah, nobody likes Nia Jax. Nobody does, at least from what I've heard. Nia Jax, God only knows who she's going to injure next. She's injured so many in the ring already. Who knows? Yeah, Logan Paul, too, you know. Actually, JQ, I've never heard anything about Logan Paul's fiance, so I don't know much about her at all or what she's about, but yeah, I really don't know. But I mean, you know, that segment with Logan Paul and Ricochet, yeah, it was okay. You know, because Ricochet's had some good segments. But the whole thing is that, do we want to see Logan Paul and Ricochet in a feud again? I don't think so. I think a lot of people probably don't, since we've already been there. So for them to kind of go back to that, I don't know what sense it really makes. But, you know, WWE is just not doing too great at all with any of their stuff. And, you know, I do expect more from Triple H, especially, you know, being creative, and Ari Emanuel gave Triple H the creative. But honestly, this does not feel like a Triple H run product, you know? He just, you know, it just doesn't. You know, that's me being honest. If you want me to be honest, that's my feelings. I also have a little bit of news. You know, when we wrap up this review, I got news on Brock Lesnar. Is he due to be coming back to the show or not? So I do have some things to mention to you guys. Yeah, so let's talk about it. Let's finish up this review and we'll get into a couple of news articles. But, yeah, Chelsea Green and Piper Niven win. The match is horrible. Back at ringside, Sami Zayn heads down to the ring. We go to commercial, come back from the commercial break. We see Rhea Ripley hand Adam Pearce a signed Women's World Championship contract for Crown Jewel, as The Miz is complaining to Adam Pearce, as, you know, Rhea Ripley then checks in on Dominic Mysterio. So we go back at ringside, and Drew McIntyre then heads down to the ring. So that leads us, you know, to this, which is, you know, Sami Zayn versus Drew McIntyre, one-on-one. So the bell rings, both men lock up. Sammy tries landing a shoulder tackle, but is unsuccessful, and opts to land a chop, as he then looks to surprise Drew with one. But Drew catches him with a chop before landing a second one in the corner, as he delivers a third one that sends Sammy out of the ring. Sammy then pulls him out to join. He then hits a moonsault off the barricade and dumps Drew back inside the ring, before getting planted by a vertical suplex from Drew, as he then delivers a chop and sends Sammy crashing into the mat. Sammy manages to hit a clothesline and fires off chops and forearms, and then dumps Drew out of the ring and lands a drop kick through the middle rope, as he looks to go flying over the top rope to level him, but Drew catches him and tosses him over the announce desk. We go to commercial. We come back from the commercial break. Drew lands a chop before Sammy sends him colliding with the ring post shoulder first. Sammy lands a suplex and clotheslines Drew out of the ring, and then goes flying over the top to level him. He tosses him back inside the ring and then ascends to the top, as Drew joins him up there and gets him up on his shoulders, but Sammy escapes and delivers a powerbomb. Drew fires back with a headbutt and sets up for a Claymore kick. Sammy counters with a boot to his face and a blue thunderbomb, and then goes for a pin, but Drew McIntyre kicks out. Drew delivers a belly-to-belly suplex and a neckbreaker, and then kips up as Rhea makes her way down to the ring to watch the action. Sammy takes advantage and rolls up Drew, but Drew kicks out and gets caught with an exploder. Rhea hops up on the apron to cause a distraction, opening the door for Drew to connect with a Claymore kick for the 1-2-3 and the pin and the win, and your winner is indeed Drew McIntyre. You know, I like the fact that Rhea Ripley caused the distraction for Drew McIntyre to be able to hit that Claymore kick. It makes you think that Rhea Ripley is, kind of working for Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre, he took it, and he got the win on Sami Zayn, for that reason alone. So, Drew McIntyre, could he end up turning heel and joining the Judgment Day? Maybe. I don't know. We'll have to see, where this whole thing's gonna go, but it was a decent match with Sami Zayn, it was nothing bad. Now that's a match that I could say was okay. Just like Alpha Academy and the New Day, the match was a basic tag team match, but it was nothing, that was really bad. So, you get a couple bright spots like that, if you understand what I mean. If that makes any sense to any of you. But let's take a look here. We then head backstage. We see Nick Aldis seemingly trying to convince Kaden Carter and Katana Chance to join WWE Friday Night SmackDown. Adam Pearce catches Nick Aldis and calls him out, and Aldis tells him that nothing sinister was happening as he volunteers to leave, and Pearce thanks him for coming. Back at ringside, Bronson Reed heads down to the ring, and Akira Tozawa and Maxine Dupree follow. So now we got Bronson Reed going one-on-one with Akira Tozawa and Maxine Dupree in his corner. This match is such a waste. It's such a freaking waste. The bell rings, Tozawa lands a chop, Reed stays standing, and Tozawa fires off strikes on him. Reed flattens him with a splash and an elbow drop, and then lands a splash and follows it up with a suplex as he hits military press and looks for a senton, but Tozawa rolls out of the way and delivers a pair of kicks as he looks to land a German suplex, but Reed escapes his grasp. Tozawa ascends to the top and looks for a splash, but Reed catches him and gets him up on his shoulders. He executes a Death Valley driver and then follows it up with a running senton and a tsunami for the 1-2-3 and the pin and the win. Your winner is Bronson Reed. Gee, there's a big shocker. Go to commercial, come back from the commercial break. We see Seth freaking Rollins approach Drew McIntyre to congratulate him on his first win as a member of the Judgment Day. Drew tells Seth that he's paranoid and calls him out for his conversation with Rhea Ripley earlier tonight. Seth says he doesn't need the Judgment Day, and Drew says he doesn't need the Judgment Day either. Both Seth and Drew then agree to not having the Judgment Day in either of their corners. Back at ringside, we're now setting up for our main event of the evening. As we got main event, Jey Uso heads down to the ring and Damian Priest follows. And for our main event of the evening, guys, we got Damian Priest going one-on-one against, Senior Money in the Bank going one-on-one against Jey Uso. Main event, Jey Uso. Main event, Jey Uso. So the bell rings, both men lock up. Jey fires off right hands on Priest midsection, but Priest sends Jey crashing into the mat, connects with a headbutt. He whips Jey into the corner and looks for a splash, but Jey moves out of the way before the action spills to the outside, and Jey delivers a tope suicida. We go to commercial, come back from the commercial break. Priest lands a broken arrow on Jey, and then, the two go back and forth with forearm strikes before Jey gains the upper hand and fires off right hands. Priest tosses him onto the apron, but Jey connects with an enziguri and ascends to the top as he delivers a splash and looks for a Samoan drop, but Priest escapes and lands a clothesline that turns Jey inside out. Jey lands a kick on Priest midsection and follows it up with a Samoan drop before the action spills out of the ring once again, and Priest lands an elevated flatliner on the announce desk. Both men get back inside the ring. Priest delivers a second elevated flatliner. Jey responds with the spear and ascends to the top, and then delivers an Uso splash and goes for a pin. Finn Balor runs down to the ring and hops up on the apron to cause a distraction, and Jey clocks him as he then delivers a tope suicida, opening the door for Priest to execute the South Heaven chokeslam for the 1-2-3 and the pin in the win. Your winner is Damian Priest. After the match, Finn Balor fires off some right hands on Jey Uso and then ascends to the top and then hits the coup de grace as he grabs a couple of chairs for him and Priest, and the two look, grabs a couple of chairs and the two look to attack him with them. Cody Rhodes music hits and he hobbles down to the ring with his injured ankle to provide Jey Uso with a hand. He executes a chop block on Priest and then hits him with a chair on his midsection before cracking it across his spine. He then puts his ankle through the chair and looks to use the second one to hit it, but Balor pulls Priest out of the ring before he can, and referees run down to separate the two parties as Cody hugs and holds his hand up as the show goes on. Cody hugs Jey and holds his hand up as the show goes off the air. So that's how WWE Monday Night Raw went off the air, folks. Wasn't that good? Darth, no, I'm not doing a review on Halloween Havoc. I don't watch NXT. I haven't watched it in a long time, to be honest with you. So, that's what we got. Alright, so now, couple of things. Let's talk real quickly about Mr. Will Ospreay and Mr. Brock Lesnar. Alright. Let's see, where is that story? Will Ospreay. He addresses the possibility of relocating and joining WWE. Will Ospreay's New Japan Pro Wrestling contract is set to expire in February of 2024, setting him up to be one of the most in-demand free agents on the market in recent memory. WWE, AEW, and Impact Wrestling are all likely to bid for his talents, and now it appears Will Ospreay may be more open than previously thought to move to the United States for the future of his career. Will Ospreay says, and I quote, "We have spoke about it more," Ospreay told Metro. "I'm open to the idea of stretching myself out that a little bit more. As age has become more apparent to me and my body is hurting more and more, I'm open to all avenues." According to Ospreay, the subject of relocating to the United States has been broached with his girlfriend, as he jokingly mentioned that the only thing holding the couple back is the amount of money they spent on their new kitchen. Now, Will Ospreay, who's a former IWGP World Heavyweight Champion, also said that he spent time with AEW's Kyle Fletcher and Sky Blue this past summer to get a better idea of what life stateside is like. Ospreay's new stance flies in the face of recent reports that suggested that working for WWE was unlikely due to Ospreay's reluctance to move. However, Ospreay has been wrestling in the United States more and more lately, more recently defeating Mike Bailey at Impact Wrestling's Bound for Glory over the weekend. Still, Ospreay has not yet given any indication to the contract. So, but that's what it says. Ospreay, his new stance flies in the face of recent reports that he suggested working for WWE was unlikely due to Ospreay's reluctance to move. However, Ospreay has been wrestling in the United States more and more lately, more recently defeating Mike Bailey at Impact's Bound for Glory over the weekend. Still, Ospreay has not yet given any indication to this point as to which company he may favor for his next wrestling contract. And then the other news on Will Ospreay. Will Ospreay. Right here, guys. Will Ospreay reportedly hires top wrestling agent in preparation for 2024 free agency. Will Ospreay is one of the highest rated wrestlers on the planet today and has already carved an impressive career at a young age. With his New Japan Pro Wrestling contract slated to expire in February of 2024, strong interest in Ospreay as a free agent is an inevitability, and it appears he is also preparing for that eventually. On Monday, PW Insider Elite reported that Will Ospreay has hired highly revered agent Barry Bloom to represent him in future negotiations. Barry Bloom is known to represent Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks of All Elite Wrestling. All three entered negotiations earlier this year before re-signing with AEW. In the past, Barry Bloom has represented Jesse the Body Ventura, Kevin Nash, and Scott Hall, among others. PWI's reports suggest that Ospreay has recruited Bloom to secure him the best possible deal as he enters free agency, as Ospreay has worked for New Japan Pro Wrestling, Impact Wrestling, and AEW in 2023 alone, and there has been a belief in WWE the only major promotion he hasn't already wrestled for would be interested in his services, as Ospreay had previously been skeptical of a full-time move to the United States promotion, WWE preferring to work between the UK and Japan, but his stance has seemingly shifted as of late. He's increased his appearances in the United States, more recently at Impact Wrestling's Bound for Glory event this past weekend, and he has stayed with friends currently working for AEW to get an idea to what life would be like in a new setting. So, that's what we have there. Let's see. As far as something else here, CM Punk. Backstage news on CM Punk's reported appearance at Impact Wrestling event. CM Punk is a free agent in professional wrestling following his abrupt AEW exit in September, and while questions remain over where he will go next, recent reports indicate that Impact Wrestling, soon to once again be known as TNA, may have his attention. Nick Hausman's House of Wrestling is reporting that Punk was backstage for the Impact Wrestling on Access TV tapings in Chicago, though not for the Bound for Glory pay-per-view event. According to the report, Punk arrived just before the tapings began around 6:30 p.m. Central Standard Time and was quickly taken to the locker room area. Punk reportedly spoke with anyone who wanted to get some time with him backstage, which was said to have included key talent within the promotion. His backstage presence follows a weekend of post-Bound for Glory buzz, which has gotten stronger since Impact announced it was returning to its original TNA name. There was also reports that his, Punk's friend Ace Steel had also been seen working backstage for Impact as a producer. Hausman claims that Steel was even considered to wrestle in the gauntlet for the gold match on the pay-per-view, but Impact did not want its fans to assume Ace Steel coming into the fold was a guarantee that Punk would follow, generating potentially unfounded excitement. CM Punk left AEW amidst controversy following an altercation backstage at All In, the massive event held at Wembley Stadium back in August. Recent reporting has indicated that Punk wanted to return to WWE, but his former promotion turned him down. If these reports prove accurate, the newly rebranded TNA, a name that hasn't appeared on one of Punk's checks since 2003, could end up being a bidder for his services. So, that's something to indeed look out for. A couple more quick ones. Former WWE superstar Lacey Evans explains why she asked for her WWE release. Lacey Evans departed WWE after her contract reportedly expired in August earlier this year. By many accounts, Vince McMahon himself was a huge fan of Lacey Evans, but she left the WWE having not made much of a mark since 2016. Lacey Evans explained her side of things while appearing on the Power Alphas podcast with former WWE stars Mandy Rose and Tino Sabatelli. Lacey Evans says, and I quote, I asked, for my release, I asked if I could, verbatim, can I slip out the side door? She said, where I come from and what I've been through and what I've had to do, nobody's going to talk to me any certain way. I'm not going to sit my ass in catering eating steak anymore. Lacey Evans described having an alpha mentality, which meant she needed to be treated as a top guy, and she needed to be doing something of substance, as she says she wanted to leave because she knows she deserves better, and to be in a place where she can thrive. She also claimed that she had taken a pay cut to sign with WWE, but it was a decision she made because she wanted to use her platform to help people and spread her story. She says, and I quote, that was my main goal in WWE. She says, I'm an alpha and I want to be able to tell my story and help people because I know what I have accomplished already before I even joined the WWE, end quote. So, Lacey Evans, I guess, felt unappreciated. So, let's see. What else did I got here? Couple quick ones. Kevin Nash addresses WWE Over the Edge, continuing after Owen Hart's death. It's been 24 years since Owen Hart tragically passed away after falling from the rafters of the Kempter Arena during WWE Over the Edge. A debate still rages about whether WWE should have stopped the show. Now that debate has come to Kevin Nash's podcast after Nash, who worked with Owen Hart, for years in WWE and working at WCW at the time of his death, was asked about whether Over the Edge should have continued after Owen Hart's fall in the latest episode of Click This. Kevin Nash says, and I quote, "I wasn't there," Nash said. "I think Jeff Jarrett went out after that. He and Owen were best friends. He was clearly past when he went by Jeff, and Jeff had to go out there and perform. I know that when my mom passed away and I went to the arena and Vince made it my call, 'You want to get on a plane? What do you want to do?' And I said, 'Well, she's not going anywhere. There's I can't see any of the boys if it was us,' and they paused. I couldn't see any of us want to make the whole show start over." Nash later clarified that he would have a different opinion on stopping the show if he was asked long before his match, as opposed to being in his gear. Nash also defended WWE Chairman Vince McMahon's actions in continuing to go forward with the show. Kevin Nash says, and I quote, "I don't think Vince is a callous human being," Nash says. "I think that he looked at everything from that situation and made what he thought was the best call. That is why I have a real hard time saying I would do anything otherwise, because he's worth $9 billion. So obviously he's got a little bit of game," end quote. This was from Kevin Nash's Click This podcast. Wrestling Inc. did the transcription. And finally, in the last quick news story here, guys, this is what we got. Brock Lesnar. There's something with Brock Lesnar here which I want to touch on, so I will. Let's see, Brock Lesnar. By the way, WWE Friday Night SmackDown ratings report for October 20th, 2023. Despite being a lame duck show on Fox due to its deal to move back to the USA Network, WWE SmackDown has continued to perform strongly on Friday nights, including drawing 2,417,000 total viewers just a week ago for its season premiere. Alas, with said premiere now a distant memory, it appears SmackDown wasn't quite able to maintain momentum without the presence of Roman Reigns. WrestleNomics reports that the October 20th episode of SmackDown drew 2,253,000 total views, as well as 0.59 ratings in the key 18 to 49 demographic, which is 781,000 18 to 49 viewers, but numbers are down from the series premiere, with the total viewers dropping 7%, while 18 to 49 showed a drop of 5% from last week's 0.62 ratings. SmackDown would also see small declines in other demos, though the show did see a 5% increase in females 18 to 34. Quarter hours throughout the show were a bit of a roller coaster, with the opening segment and LA Knight Paul Heyman promo drawing a solid 2,383,000 views at a 0.61 18 to 49 demographic. Quarters 2 and 3 would show significant drops, of total viewers dropping as low as 2,090,000 viewers in quarter 3, and 18 to 49 going down to a 0.54. The low point of the show in both categories. Things would rise after that, however, with the high point coming in quarter 5, which drew 2,465,000 views and a 0.65 in the 18 to 49 for a backstage segment featuring Nick Aldis and Adam Pearce, as well as an in-ring promo from Logan Paul. The final 3 quarters would see the viewership dip again, with the main event between Io Sky and Charlotte Flair drawing 2,261,000 viewers and a 0.59 in the 18 to 49, up 2% of viewers and down 1% in 18 to 49 from quarter 7. So there's your total numbers there. And then your last piece of news here to touch on, which I'm going to do right here. Major update on Brock Lesnar's WWE status ahead of WWE Crown Jewel in Saudi Arabia. WWE's Crown Jewel event in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia is quickly approaching, and the card for the November 4th event is coming together, with 4 championship matches announced so far, but the event is also shaping up to be the first of WWE's Saudi Arabian excursions to not feature former WWE World Heavyweight Champion Brock Lesnar. PW Insider Elite is reporting that Brock Lesnar has not been factored into creative plans for Crown Jewel and won't be appearing at the event. The first time WWE has run a show in Saudi Arabia without him. Crown Jewel will be the 10th such event. Brock Lesnar has wrestled on 8 of the previous shows and appeared as a part of a major angle at the 9th. The reports cites sources within WWE who supposedly believe it would be better to save Brock Lesnar for a future Saudi event, as the upcoming show in Riyadh was an immediate sellout. The card does not lack for the star power without Brock Lesnar either, as matches featuring Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, Rhea Ripley, LA Knight, and Logan Paul have all been signed. Brock Lesnar last wrestled at WWE SummerSlam earlier in August, suffering defeat in a rubber match against Cody Rhodes. Brock Lesnar had previously defeated Cody Rhodes at Night of Champions earlier this year in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia. Brock Lesnar seemed to go off script after the match and showed a rare demonstration of respect for Cody Rhodes to all the fans, and apparently those watching backstage as well. It was reported after the event that Brock Lesnar would be taking an extended period of time off, but he is believed to be scheduled for a return come WrestleMania season, which typically kicks off in January with the Royal Rumble. So there you go, guys. That's what I got. And the rating for WWE Monday Night Raw tonight, I'll say WWE Monday Night Raw for today, Monday, October 23rd, 2023. I mean, the main event with Jey Uso and Damian Priest was okay. Drew McIntyre, Sami Zayn was okay. The tag match with Alpha Academy and the New Day was okay. And nothing else was really that good. The Judgment Day storyline with Rhea Ripley getting into Seth Rollins and Drew McIntyre's head, that was okay. So a couple interesting things there. Cody injured again. Not sure how to feel about that with another kayfabe injury. But I'll say that WWE Monday Night Raw for today, Monday, October 23rd, 2023. I guess I'm just going to go ahead and give this show a straight up 3 out of 10. With just a few good things happening and, nothing else good. So, it's my honest opinion. So, guys, that's going to do it for me here. So, on this episode of Beyond the Ring with Big T tonight. So, I will see you guys next time. And yes, there will be a next time for me right here on Beyond the Ring with Big T. That'll be for your AEW Dynamite review and results show on Wednesday night. Make sure you join me here for that. And don't forget us, so we won't forget you. And of course, if you want the best, and yes, I do mean the absolute best for all of your professional wrestling needs, right here on the internet, right here on YouTube.com today, always remember to think Beyond the Ring with Big T. And then, of course, everybody, hope you guys enjoyed the show. I'll be back here on Wednesday to review Dynamite, and cheers to all of you. Alright, guys. So, we got it done. Another podcast in the books. Monday Night Raw was not that great, but at least I was here to give you a review on it. And if everything goes alright, I'll see you guys on Wednesday for AEW Dynamite. And then as far as SmackDown and Friday and Collision on Saturday, I might not do the weekend shows anymore. I don't know, because just trying to get everything together on the weekend and it's just whatever. Raw and Dynamite seem to be the easiest shows to do right now, so if I do any of those, that's probably what you'll see. Pay-per-views will all be a play-by-ear thing, but, so that's how it goes, guys, but good to be back with all of you, and I hope you guys enjoyed the show, and, thank you very much for watching and listening to your WWE Monday Night Raw review and results show for today, Monday, October 23rd, 2023. And then, of course, everybody, you guys know how it goes. As always remember, don't forget to leave your likes, comments, subscribe, donate to the show, hashtag Justice for Pretty, all that good stuff. But, as always, everybody, always remember and never ever forget that I'm your host, Big T, and that I'll see all of you at the matches, and I'll see all of you for your AEW Dynamite review and result show on Wednesday nights. So join me back here live on YouTube Live and Facebook Live, and take care, everybody. I love you all. I'm your host, Big T, and I'll see you all at the matches. Take care, everybody. I love you all, and of course, good night, everybody. Ha 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 ha.
This is M-Dog 20, Matt Cross. We're in Cleveland, Ohio, and you were checking out Beyond the Ring with my man, Big T. Thank you, man. Big T.
Hello, this is EC3 of TNA Wrestling, and you are so very fortunate because you are watching Beyond the Ring with Big T.
This is the bad boy Joey Janela, and you're watching Beyond the Ring, AEW All In.